So here we are in Doha for the qualifying session. We'll be going into it after a practice session with not too much to be taken away from. I think everyone performed at a relatively similar level, and as we're already well off, let's have a quick look at this. Ard Madlic is currently in the lead by 300ths from his teammate, in fact, Markovic. Kernow Crazy Car laying down quite a marker with their pace, but here comes Zach Lucas, two purple sectors in a row. He goes top! He goes top with a few cars left to go, and nobody's going to beat him. That's it. Zach Lucas takes first place with a blistering lap, pulling it out from 700ths when he really needed it, away from Ard Maglic and Markovic. And what a result that is, my goodness. Out of nowhere, he gets it done again. Here is the full drivers lineup. So we have on pole Zach Lucas, followed by Ard Madlic. Second row, Vinko Markovic and Ina Tarasova. Minoru Nishimura, Havana Eriksson are then from Marti Pessinen and Hek Singh. Marcos Araujo Azevedo leads Naomi Klein. Veronique Morel is ahead of Lucas Schweitzer in 11th and 12th, respectively. Zacarias de Toro comes in 13th. Britta Pallison 14th. Luke McKenzie in 15th. And the back three are Pierre Gouet, Marco Forst, and Kalua Anene. Quite a qualifying session. Let's have a look at what the fans are saying. Martin Giles, yeah, they're just slagging off the Observer team, to be honest. Oh, that's sad. If Pierre Gouet can put it on pole, oh no, I'm sorry, no, he didn't. He really didn't. Dick Scully, what a name. Anyway, let's get into the race. Here on a sunny day in Doha, we're presumably not expecting any kind of rain. Of course, we do have the sprinklers, which are a potential thing that might be happening. Here we are. And it's lights out, and away we go. Lucas gets a great start. Maglic gets a bad one. Markovic up in the second. Eriksson also taking... Eriksson up the inside into third. Look at that. Eriksson to second, in fact. Sorry, apologies. Markovic and Maglic are followed back. Is that a... That's Marti Pessinen going up the inside. Tarasova is threatening Markovic on the inside, and she's taken him. Look at that. Now she's trying to go up the inside of Eriksson. She's probably going to get it, holding it around the outside. Let's go and have a look from down low. She's going to get it around the outside. Eriksson defending from the inside. She's got the inside line, but Tarasova's just going to put the foot down and get away from her through the hotel complex. Astounding start. Zach Lucas is putting huge amounts of time into people. He's already second and a half up after, well, about, what, 2/3 of a lap? Back here, there's some more moves being made. Pessinen losing 3 positions in one corner. Is that Hit Singh through the outside? It is. He's up in the third. Havana Eriksson down to 4th. Luke McKenzie trying to put it up the inside, and he's managed it. Look at that. Eriksson at risk of... Oh, my goodness. She pushed him very wide there. Markovic lost out bad from Eriksson pushing him almost off the track, and he's lost out again. Was that Nishimura trying to... Yeah, it is. It's Nishimura now. 2 places in one corner, and he's taking his teammate, who's coming back at him around the outside. He's going to try and hold it. She's got the inside line, but he's boxed in. I think he's got more drive out of last corner. He's just going to hold it together. They're still side by side going to the hotel complex. Nishimura's managed to take and hold the position, it looks like. So, after 1.5 laps, here is how the standings look. We've got Zach Lucas out front. Ina Tarasova, 2.5-ish seconds back. Hit Singh in third. From McKenzie, from Pessinen, from Nishimura, from Eriksson, from Gouet, from Klein, from Pallison. Nishimura looks like he's just taken another place there from Pessinen as I was going over it. Yeah. I think we're... we looks like we're shaking down quite neatly into this. Look at that, though. There's still a knot of drivers back there from battling for about 6th or 7th place. And here comes... Oh, look at that. My goodness, it's hard to see exactly what's going on. There's so much. Is that Naomi Klein losing out, I think, slightly to Britta Pallison again? And she's put her in bad place for the rest of the corner, but she's going to position it perfectly to keep out Lucas Schweitzer. Naomi Klein. Oh no, no, Schweitzer's got inside her, but Klein comes back with the additional drive through the last corner of the hotel complex. Up front, we've got Eriksson and Pessinen trading places. Ooh, it's another battle though. She's going to be pushed wide, and that's put her in a bad place for Pierre Gouet, who's had a wonderful start. He was from down in 18th. He's moved up to 8th with some aggressive moves. Ooh, that's very aggressive. Oh, she's going to get past him though. He's gone a little wide on the corner, left her room. Eriksson dived back up the inside. He's now under pressure by Britta Pallison. Look at Eriksson go. She's taking Pessinen again. What an incredible little battle those two are having. Meanwhile, at the front, Zach Lucas is storming away with it. 3.3 seconds ahead now. Pierre Gouet still fighting in the midfield there. Oh, they touched Martin. It's Pessinen down the inside. Gouet's gone wide again. This is terrible. He's now at the prey of about 3 separate cars. He just managed to box them out and put a bit of time into Naomi Klein again. Let's while this is playing out, let's have a look at the back of the course, which is, I mean, admittedly extremely close to everyone else. Really, they're very bunched up at the back here. Araujo Azevedo and Veronique Morel are kind of fighting it out here at the back, but they're with everyone so bunched up, you can really go from even 20th up to easily mid table within a few corners. Down here we've got some really good drivers. I mean, Araujo Azevedo, Veronique Morel, Zacarias de Toro, all of these have proved themselves particularly good drivers. I mean, Markovic as well, particularly solid drivers in this championship over the last few seasons. And they're marooned back down here. It's for all we know, it might be indicative of their cars not being quite as good in this early stage of the season. Maybe they have some other kind of issues going on with them, but it's hard to say. Let's step back up to have a look at Zach Lucas, and as he pulls out to 4.5 seconds lead, we'll go on board with him for a lap. So you've got the long right-hander with a strange double apex into a quick left, round right again. The medium speed left-hander, then you drag it out into a chicane. Long sweeping right-hander that kind of tightens into a proper corner as opposed to a flat-out one. Another long right-hander, a left-hander, and then we come around a sharp left-hander to the hotel complex where we go through a kind of a short series of right-left corners, and then there's squared off right-hand corners for this lap. Go around that again. As we go, Zach Lucas pulls out his gap to 4.4 seconds through the left-hander along the harbour bridge and a sharp left. Now you can get the power down. More power. You take a medium left-handed corner and then a long sweeping circular right. That puts you in good position to jump through the chicane and onto the start-finish straight. Now, let's head back a bit and see where we're standing. So we've got Lucas from Tarasova, from Singh from Mackenzie, which is I mean, as the top 4 goes, it's not really what you would have picked. Zach Lucas, obviously, a fantastic driver in what appears to be at least reasonable machinery. We can expect him to be out front, and Ina Tarasova, of course, proving her ability over multiple seasons. But Hate Singh and Luke Mackenzie are two. You wouldn't have picked them to be in the top 4, especially considering Mackenzie's on the hards right now. So he's got huge amounts more life left in his tires, and in fact, you can kind of see Nishimura catching him on the mediums there a bit. I think Nishimura's pace on the mediums a little bit better than the hards of Mackenzie, and Nishimura's going down the inside. He squeezes him, but is he going to come back at him on the outside? No, I just don't think there's enough grip left in. I don't think there's enough grip in those hard tires. And you can see Havana Eriksson now on the soft, sniffing around behind Mackenzie. She'll want to get past him as quickly as possible and try and get some good time into that while she can on her soft tires. We're going to speed up a little bit. The observer cars, one of them is coming in for a pit stop. In the meantime, we will simply observe and keep an eye on what uh, what kind of tire choices they'll be making. I mean, it'll be coming out very soon. Like Hate Singh, you wouldn't be surprised if he came in maybe this lap, maybe next. It's hard to say. Here we go. He's into the pits. In fact, the first of the drivers to pit is Hate Singh, and then in 12th is that Maglic who came out. Or there we go. Hate Singh now on fresh rubber on mediums. So we will see whether he's going to try and get if anyone's going to try and get an undercut on him. Lucas, having spread out his lead to 5.7 seconds, you've got to assume will be coming in now. I don't think he can make these softs last much longer. Yes, and he's in. There we go. Tarasova staying out. That's a bold move, especially with the pit lane. With the pit lane here, which is so kind of short, essentially. If you watch, see as you can see, Markovic coming out there, it does in fact cut off the kind of first corner complex. Tarasova is only, what, 8.5? It was 8.6 a little while ago, 8.4. She's already losing time to Nishimura, who is on the medium. She's got to come in, and she has come in. Let's see whether she can... No, no, she can't. Nishimura's through, Mackenzie through, Lucas, Pearson, and Goe, Pallison, Anene, De Toro. She comes out, just in front of Anene, as it happens. Which really illustrates just how much kind of time you can get. Is this sixth and seventh? Sixth, Pallison looks like she's pitting. Guay looks like he's pitting. Pessinen's probably going to be pitting. Mackenzie, I wonder whether he'll pit because he's got I mean, Nishimura will be pitting surely. Yes, he is. Mackenzie might pit because he's on the hards. But yeah, there we go. He's in. Probably not the most viable tyre here. Zach Lucas, of course, right back out in front now. 17 laps remaining. And Zach Lucas is on the mediums. It's debatable whether he'll be able to make it to the end on those. Maybe, maybe not. Tarasa out in second, Zing in third. Nishimura, Ericsson, Guay. There haven't been too many major dramas in the pit stop kind of window. Everyone's come through mostly unscathed. Let's jack the speed up to full. It looks interestingly like... Oh, no. Lucas is putting time back into her. Tarasova is dropping back a little bit. There is a definite gap developing between first and second and third. Zing is still within kind of reach of Nishimura, interestingly enough. But who knows what could happen. We do, of course, have race sprinklers this season. Now, the way race sprinklers work is we're not sure whether it'll trigger for any given race. So it may not trigger for a race. It may not trigger for any of the races. And it's also highly variable when it will trigger during the race. It could start the instant the race begins. It could start as the race is ending, or anywhere in between. It's completely random. So your fate is up to the gods when it comes to the sprinklers. Of course, Hetsing probably hoping that there aren't any sprinklers. These kind of struggles with changeable conditions have been well documented, and it's a bit of a disaster that his, well, for him personally at least, that the rule change went through regarding race sprinklers. His team principal, of course, voting for it quite hilariously. Up in front, that gap looks like it's coming down between Tarasova and Lucas. Is his grip falling away? 10 laps remaining? No, he's put time back in. It's just so hard to reel him in. It looks like Tarasova's trying to maintain a bit of tire life and fuel for later on. I think she's she's going to try. Oh, the gap's coming down again. Lucas into the pits. He's gone onto softs. He couldn't make those mediums last. He felt it falling away from him. And he knew that he couldn't make it last. The question is, can Tarasova make its last 7 laps? I don't think she can. Lucas is going to come back at her now on the fresher softs. The gap's up at 10.5 seconds and dropping steadily. Tarasova's into the pits. Can she make it up? No, she can't. She can't. She's gone down to 5th, in fact. And she's on the hards for some reason. Why did they put her on the hards? It must be something to do with the tyres. She must have to use the hards here, I think. It's a bit of a strategy disaster here, unless they're trying to just put her on the hardest compound she can. they can and just let her go for it. But she's now trapped behind Hit Singh, although he is on oldish mediums and I mean, frankly, just isn't as good a driver as her. She's hunting him down. Let's go on board over the next lap and see whether she can cut the advantage. She's looking round the outside, down the inside that time, but she's just not quite close enough to try a move. Yeah, Hate Singh is the mediums have more pace, and he has more pace, frankly, at the moment. I think. Of course, this gives Nishimura second place, and he's on the softs with only 3 laps to go. You'd expect he'd easily be able to maintain that position. Tarasova with a bit of a strategy disaster. Meanwhile, in fifth is Pierre Gouet, who's been, I mean, he's had a remarkable race, really. He's managed his positions well. He took people early on when they were all bunched up, and now he's got a good advantage over Havana Eriksson in sixth. And likewise, Markovic is out there in seventh. Mackenzie in eighth, who had a good first half of the race and then kind of steadily fell off as time went on. Naomi Klein will probably be quite happy in ninth. De Toro's fought back from a low position to reach 10th. Tell you what, Marty Personen's had a bit of a disaster of a race, really. It's been some issues with tyre strategy and with some unlucky kind of incidents. But here we go. Hed Singh is just blown away Tarasova, it seems. They're nowhere near close anymore. So it looks like going into the final lap, Zach Lucas, barring something major, it looks like he might have some mechanical issues. It would be absolutely heartbreaking if his car blew up now when he's performed so beautifully well. I mean, all weekend, that brilliant, superlative qualifying lap really put him in a position here. But here he comes, around the final complex, through the left-right chicane, onto the straight and ahead of the fans, takes first place. Nishimura following up in second, a long way back, 20 seconds back, through the chicane. And he'll take second place. Hit Singh in third, Tarasova with a bittersweet fourth, Pierre Gouet in a very, very regular sweet fifth, from Eriksson, from Markovic, from Mackenzie, from Klein, who is closely followed by De Toro. Britta Pallison has taken Schweitzer in the last lap. Oh, that is wow. On the last lap against your teammates. Lucas Schweitzer's tyres were falling away. That was it. She managed to get him on the last lap. De Toro finished 14th in the end. Very interesting. I wonder what happened there. That might have been a sanction of some kind, or he might have simply just lost his grip going around. So there you go. There's going to be some quick scrutineering for all cars involved. Nothing too major. It was a time penalty. De Toro got a 10-second time penalty. Interesting. I wonder what that was for. It could have been for a range of things. It might have cut a corner. But De Toro loses out, and of course promotes, I think it was Maglic and Pessinen ahead of him. So there's your results. Zach Lucas from Minoru Nishimura, from Hed Singh, from Ina Tarasova, from Pierre Gouet, Vanna Eriksson, Vinko Markovic, Luke Mackenzie, Naomi Klein, and Britta Pallison are the top 10. Finishing last, apart from the observer cars, was Veronique Morel, who had an absolute disaster of a race, losing 7 places. Likewise, actually, Ed Maglic, from his lofty heights, losing 10 places. But the big winners today, really, Pierre Gouet with a fantastic recovery drive. Luke Mackenzie was put a lot of extra places in where he really shouldn't have, and Hek Singh did very, very well as well. And so there's our Drivers' Championship standings as it stands. Particularly impressive day for Gorski and the Funky Bunch. Cool. And here are the Teams Championship standings. So McLaren putting in, I mean, a pretty great effort. You saw Nishimura finished in second, Havana Eriksson in sixth, which gives them the Team Championship standings. Zach Lucas, of course, coming in first, but not really supported at all by Zacharias De Toro. which means that, well, that extra 10-second time penalty probably lost them a point there. So it's a thin gap, but a gap nonetheless. There you go. And that is our first round. Thank you all for joining us.